All right, picking up where we left off for this video, this is section 9.8, 9.9, 9.10 for AP Environmental Science. The last video we discussed CITES. Going on. Okay, so there's another way that we can protect species. We can protect ecosystems. And if we protect the entire ecosystem, you are also going to protect the endangered species within. So we want to connect islands of habitat. And so you can see here on the pictures, there's a couple of different pictures of wildlife corridors. This one is in existence. I don't remember where the picture's from. This bottom one is being built, so this is a artist's drawing of what it will look like. This is on the 101 freeway, just a little bit to the north of Los Angeles in a place like Camarillo Moore Park area, Thousand Oaks. This is going to be for mountain lions to connect mountain lion ranges. So it can connect isolated habitats to help mitigate the effects of habitat fragmentation. So you do need to know about wildlife corridors as a solution to habitat fragmentation and to help our endangered species. Okay, so here's a couple of graphs of how we have protected more area over time. You also need to know what a biosphere reserve is. This is another solution to protecting biodiversity. So on the AP test, you will have on the free response section, a little bit on the multiple choice, but a lot on the free response question section of the AP test, you're going to have a lot of solution questions. What is the solution to preserving biodiversity, saving endangered species, etc.? Or other topics. Just, there could be one about this topic, but in general, you're going to have a lot of solution prompts on the AP test about all kinds of things. Okay, another solution to preserving biodiversity is developing a biosphere reserve. And you can see a picture there that you have a core area where you want to super protect it, and then you might allow some tourism in the buffer areas, and then a little bit more like hotels and things in the transition area. Maybe some humans in the buffer and transition area. And so you can see by the picture, you can just really examine this diagram and kind of understand it a little bit better. You can see a picture here of how this works in real life. So this is the core area. This is where the super important place is to preserve the species. And then you have the buffer area and the transition area. You will not be asked about core, buffer, or transition. You could be asked about a biosphere reserve, and you need to kind of understand what it is. Okay, another thing to do is to restore habitats. So this is a picture of a group restoring some habitat in a certain place. We do that in all kinds of places around the United States. And so if people had a piece of property and they sold it back to, let's say, the Nature Conservancy or the government, and they want to create a state park or a national park, they'll ask for people to volunteer their time to come in to help replant things. They do that in our town as well. On Earth Day, there are places that you can go and help replant places on our hiking trails, on our preserves in town. And this is an area that is being restored, and so it has a sign that says keep out. They're doing restoration. Another thing you need to know is parks and preserves can set aside land as well. So this is a little map of our national park system, and following the theory of island biogeography that you learned earlier in Unit 2, if you want to preserve more biodiversity, you want to make bigger parks close to other bigger parks. And so you would want to, if you wanted to preserve more biodiversity, you'd want to pick some places where there's a lot already of national parks or state parks or county park. It doesn't have to be a national park, because you can preserve land in other places as well. But you would want to build the bigger area the better, and then connect it to other bigger areas as well, or close by. So even city parks can preserve some biodiversity from some species. Marine preserves can do this in the ocean. So these are all types: national parks, state parks, county parks, wildlife preserves, wildlife reserves. They're called different things. marine preserves, and even city parks. All those things can help preserve biodiversity. And that is it for this topic.